Most people chase a number they'll never need while ignoring the three that actually matter. Look, we've all heard the advice. Save $1 million, retire with 2 million, hit some magic number and you're set for life. But here's the thing. Those goals are so far out of reach for most Americans that they're basically useless. You're working two jobs, rent just went up again, and someone's telling you to dream about seven figures. It doesn't help. So let me give you something better. There are three net worth milestones that actually change your life in real, noticeable ways, and they're not what you think. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these numbers are, why they matter more than any retirement calculator, and which one you should be focused on right now based on where you actually are financially. And this matters right now because with inflation still eating into paychecks and emergency costs popping up out of nowhere, most people don't need motivation, they need a map. Let's break it down. The first milestone is zero, as in you owe exactly as much as you own. I know, that doesn't sound exciting, but if you're carrying credit card debt, student loans, a car note, and maybe some medical bills, getting to zero is a massive shift. It means you're no longer working just to pay off your past. You're breaking even. Here's why this one hits different. When your net worth is negative, every dollar you earn is already spoken for. You're not building anything, you're filling a hole. But the moment you hit zero, that changes. Now when you get paid, you're actually moving forward. Most people don't celebrate this milestone because it doesn't feel like wealth, but it is. It's the difference between treading water and finally getting your head above it. And statistically, a lot of Americans never get here. According to recent data, millions of households have a negative net worth, especially younger people buried in student loans or families dealing with medical debt. So if you're working towards zero right now, you're not behind. You're in the fight. And this milestone is the foundation for everything else. The second milestone is having 6 months of your basic expenses saved up. Not 6 months of income, 6 months of what you actually need to survive. Rent, food, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments. That's it. This is the number that changes how you sleep at night. Because here's what most people miss. Financial stress isn't really about being rich or poor. It's about how close you are to disaster. If your car breaks down tomorrow or you lose your job next week, how long can you last? For most people, the answer is maybe a few weeks, and that fear sits in the back of your mind constantly. But when you've got 6 months saved, that fear starts to fade. You're not bulletproof, but you've got room to breathe. You can handle a surprise medical bill without putting it on a credit card. You can leave a toxic job without panicking about next month's rent. You've got options. Let me clarify something important here. This isn't about hoarding cash or being paranoid. It's about buying yourself time. Time to think. Time to make better decisions instead of desperate ones. And in an economy where layoffs happen without warning and costs keep climbing, that time is everything. The real problem starts when people skip this step and jump straight to investing or chasing higher returns. Because without this cushion, one bad month can wipe out all your progress. You end up pulling money out of retirement accounts, paying penalties, going backward. This milestone protects everything you build after it. The third milestone is having 1 full year of your expenses invested in assets that grow, not sitting in a savings account, invested. Stocks, index funds, retirement accounts, whatever works for your situation, but it's working for you. This is the milestone where you start to feel like you're actually building wealth. Here's why. Up until now, you've been defensive. You paid off debt, you built an emergency fund, you protected yourself. But this is where you go on offense. This is where your money starts making money, even while you sleep. And the psychological shift is huge. When you've got a year of expenses invested, you stop thinking paycheck to paycheck. You start thinking in years. You can see a path to early retirement, or at least to working because you want to, not because you have to. It changes the entire game. But here's what most people get wrong. They think this milestone is about hitting some massive portfolio balance. It's not. It's about coverage. If your expenses are $2,000 a month, you need $24,000 invested. If they're $4,000, you need $48,000. It scales to your life, not some generic advice. And this is where the real compounding kicks in. Once you've got this base, every dollar you add on top starts working harder. You're not just surviving anymore. You're building a life where money stress doesn't run the show. So let's bring it back. The 3 milestones: 0 net worth, 6 months of expenses saved, and 1 year of expenses invested. These aren't the numbers you'll see on magazine covers. They're not sexy, but they're real and they're reachable. You don't need a 6-figure salary or a trust fund. You just need a plan and the discipline to stick with it, even when it's slow. Most financial advice tells you to dream bigger. I'm telling you to focus smaller, because these 3 milestones are the ones that actually change your day-to-day life. They're the difference between living in constant stress and finally having some control. Real security comes from understanding the rules, even when they're stacked against you. If this helped you see your money differently, hit that like button and subscribe. We're cutting through the noise every week with finance advice that's actually useful. Drop a comment and let me know which milestone you're working on right now. I'll see you in the next one.